Washington State is taking going green to a whole new level. A new bill is going to combat methane emissions in the state by allowing cannabis farmers to sell the waste from their grows, recycle it, and keep it out of landfills. After the growing season comes to an end, farmers have harvested the last of those sticky buds. There's usually quite a bit of plant material left over. And where does all that go? More often than not, all that cannabis waste gets packed up and dumped into a landfill where it takes up space and produces methane gas as it decomposes. And it's more than you might think. Washington state landfills produce 1.5 million metric tons of methane per year. And that number's just going up. In fact, it was so concerning that the state passed a bill in 2022 that said they were going to try to divert more organic material away from landfills in order to bring that number down. And that's where Senate Bill 5376 comes in. The idea of it was to reduce cannabis waste and methane emissions and put a few more dollars in the cannabis industry's pocket at the same time. In a nutshell, it'll allow cannabis producers to sell their cannabis waste to the public. And when they say cannabis waste, they're talking about stems, leaves, roots, stalks, that kind of thing. Anything over 0.3% THC is considered dangerous waste. And since marijuana is federally illegal, it's a whole big thing to dispose of it. And that won't change till the DEA decides to change it. But the stems and roots, they're up for sale. Now, I know what you're thinking. Who wants to buy the leftover trash from a cannabis grow? It sounds crazy, but it actually might wind up making a pretty big difference. Remember, these are basically bits of hemp here, and there's lots you can do with that. Most people, at least at first, will probably be using it for composting material for agriculture, but it can also be used to make all sorts of hemp products, like hempcrete, a concrete made from hemp, insulation, clothing, even different plastics. And it's not like it's a small amount either. No, one producer based in Spokane said he dumps 2,200 pounds of cannabis waste every month into the landfill. He fills up a whole 40-yard dumpster container and has to pay $600 to get it taken away. And that's just one of over 1,000 other producers in the state. Seth Chamber of Blue Roots Cannabis said this doesn't do our society any good to be continuing to fill landfills, especially when it's being mixed with non-organic garbage, piling up, or being put into plastic contractor bags before it's dumped. So it looks like this could benefit everyone involved. But there are going to be a few rules, of course. The waste sold can't have any THC or pesticides. It has to be available to the public on an equal and non-discriminatory basis. No favors now. And all the purchase details, including who bought it and how much they paid, have to be reported to the Washington State Liquor and Cannabis Board. And after that, we'll be one step closer to zero waste cannabis.